It is, when I'm filming this particular segment, November 25th. So basically 1 month before Christmas. And the idea of this project is my 17-year-old son Logan likes the Volkswagen buses, whether they be the original split windows, the bay windows, or the Vanagons. He thinks they're quite neat. And as a matter of fact, he put together a puzzle that had a whole grid of different Volkswagen vans. So he was looking at this at the hobby shop at the same time as he was looking at puzzles and things. And I know that if I get him this as a model to put together, he probably will never actually get around to starting it or finishing it. So the idea is I want to get this built and finished and give it to him for Christmas. And as an aside, when Logan was only 3 or 4 years old, he was sitting at my side when I put together the Revell VW, and he thought that was quite neat, the camper van. So I think this would be especially neat from that point of view. And in terms of family history, my grandfather, when my dad was a kid and when he was a teenager, he had a series of Volkswagen vans, because my dad was one of 7 brothers and sisters, so he certainly needed a vehicle with lots of seats back then. So let's take a quick look inside. This box is one of those dreaded end-opening boxes. I really don't like end-opening boxes. Let's get everything out. Now, I've already had this out once before, so some of the stuff isn't in the bags. This is going to be a quick look because we're not going to be doing a full review, and this is only going to be 1 or 2 episodes, and basically I'll publish them right around the time that I give him the model as a present. So this kit has Revell's new style of instruction manual, all in glossy paper and full color. And in this respect, they've probably lagged a little bit behind some of the Japanese kit makers in adopting color. Certainly has a nicer feel to it than the semi-newsprint that they used to use in some of their other kits. Now, as normal for a Revell kit, they have broken it down into many steps. Let's see. We have 56 steps, and I'm going to do this in a month. Ouch. This is a very complex kit, and it's certainly going to be a challenge to get it together before Christmas, especially seeing as I have to make sure I'm only working on it when Logan is at school or at work. So if you haven't seen a review of this kit, what's kind of surprising about it, and certainly contributes to its high parts count, is if we look at the contents of this bag, you can see that the body is made up of separate panels which need to be glued together. As you can see, this bag right here has got the doors, and I think the doors are operable, which would be kind of neat. We got the tires here, and they're no-namers as we're used to seeing from Revell. This bag has got the many windows, and of course this particular Volkswagen van has got the roof windows in it. This bag here has our floor pan. You can see that's the interior, and this is the underside. Lots of detail here. I'm really looking forward to getting into this, and I'm not going to be waiting a long time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be starting gluing bits together within the next 15 or 20 minutes, because Logan's going to be getting home from work about 8:30 or so, besides which I have to go to bed soon. And this bag here of dark gray, or I should say kind of metallic gray. The interesting thing here is you can see there's 4 different bumpers here, so there's obviously different options with this kit. You can see this has got the extra guards above the bumper, and then these are more simple bumpers here. And here's some more parts. This looks like engine parts, which I imagine is pretty much where I'm going to be starting. And here we've got the roof and the nose and the two side doors. And finally we have a small chrome sprue. And you can see that the Volkswagen logo is separately applied, and we've got some nice Volkswagen hubcaps there. There's the headlight bezels. So this is going to be cool. I'm not going to be doing anything really over and above in customizing, because basically, you know, I just want to give them a Volkswagen microbus. I don't want to do anything really weird or different with it. Plus, there's the time constraint. One other thing I'd like to bring your attention to is the decal sheet, which looks superb. And it looks like I should just be able to paint the bus if I want to go with this paint scheme, which I haven't absolutely firmed up yet. But it looks like I should be able to just paint it blue and white, and then all of the yellow areas are going to be the decals. So that will help. One thing that's going to be a bit of a challenge is, unlike most vehicle models where you have a complete body shell that you can paint separately and then pop it onto the chassis, this, from the instructions, it looks like you build up all the pieces individually around the chassis. So I might need to pre-paint a lot of the body panels, glue them together, and then touch up any seams. So that'll be a bit different than what I've normally done. So I've been working on this for about a week on and off, and as I mentioned earlier, the body basically has to be pre-painted and then assembled as you go. It's not like most car kits where you have a body shell that you can snap on at the last minute. So you can see here that I've painted the body panels a medium blue, and internally I've been using a cream color. Now this is just something I mixed up. It's mostly Tamiya white with a little bit of yellow, a little bit of brown mixed in. And you can see that I've just got the areas that I'm guessing are going to be visible on the inside painted cream. And here is the bottom of our interior. And I've painted this area a German gray, just to represent the rubber matting that would probably be found there. And once again, the areas that would be basically metal interior, because I mean really these things are just basically a big tin box. I've painted that cream. Here is our front, our face, and you can see that I've done some painting of cream as well. Now this hasn't been painted here because there's a part that goes on the inside. And here's our chassis, and it's been assembled. And I'm going to do a little bit more detail painting on it, especially the engine. There's a little more detail to go on there. As well, Revell gives you some decals to go in there too, and I might be using those. Why does this remind me of an old-fashioned roller skate? But that's where we are so far. So it's coming together. We've got the nose basically all put together, at least the internal fittings. And of course we've got our roller skate basically together with the seats in place. Here's another trim panel that goes into that spot there. And you can see the inside of the panels have been put together and painted. And as I mentioned earlier, everything comes together basically around the floor pan and the chassis. It doesn't go together like most conventional car models do. This is a good shot that shows how the body comes together in bits and pieces. This section has been glued on, this one's still loose. And there's going to have to be the tailgate gets trapped between the two sides here. Something like that. So you had to make sure you do things in a certain order and have parts ready to go for the final assembly. I've done a trial fit of these doors, and it looks like they're going to be very, very tight and a struggle to get in place. So since I'm pretty sure my 17-year-old son Logan is not going to be playing with this, he's just basically going to be putting it on display. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue all the doors in a closed position. It's not like you can't see in here, because there's only a million windows, and not only that, I can always leave the roof panel, the fabric panel that goes here, I can always leave that loose and removable. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue all of the doors shut, so that way they can line up nice and neatly. Alright, sports fans, it is 3 a.m., Christmas Eve. I had to duck into the closet while Santa Claus came down the chimney. Now that he's done his business, I can get back to what I was doing. I have just finished Volkswagen Samba bus, a T1 transporter for my son Logan. And it's just me and Logan here tonight. Emily and Natasha, the twins, they're at their mom's for Christmas. And of course my oldest daughter, she lives with her boyfriend now. But I did get the bus finished for Logan. And to be truthful, I could have had it done a couple days ago. I just was busy with other silly things like sleep, that sort of thing. So as you can see, I did not go with the Lufthansa decals. I was going to, which would have meant pausing the construction, putting the decals on the body, and then clear coating the whole thing, and then installing the windows. And it occurred to me, the Lufthansa markings were not what would be important to Logan. What he likes is these cool old Volkswagen transporters, these microbuses. So I decided to leave them off. They're really not important for it being a gift for him. So I'll be giving this to him in a few hours, come morning. And we'll probably be doing the rest of our Christmas with everybody else in a few days. My mom will be coming over for supper later today. And it also has a roof. That's the other thing I wanted to mention here is the kit is designed so that basically all the doors open and close. And I will admit, I didn't watch anybody else's videos on putting this thing together, and I probably would have been forewarned. Oftentimes what happens with these kits with doors that all open and close and everything is if you don't paint the parts, the doors would work okay. By the time you get a layer of paint on there, you've pretty much used up all of the tolerances there are in doors and working parts, mechanisms, things like that. And the other problem that I found is the inner floor pan had this warp to it. And I bent probably about 99% of it out, and I probably should have tried to get all of it out. But what that did is it threw off the alignment of, especially, let's roll around here, especially this little panel right here. Basically, it's the pillar. And that was off ever so slightly, which threw off this door, which threw off this door. And I thought, once again, my son's 17. He's not going to play with this. He wants to put it on a shelf and look at it and that sort of thing. And especially given how many windows there are in this thing, plus the fact that it has a removable, cover for the roof. Who needs to have the doors open? So the doors were glued shut. And I'm pretty happy with it. And hopefully he will be too. So, thanks for watching. And until next time, just keep on modeling. And what will follow will be the weight update for myself for this particular episode.